Welcome back to the channel, guys, and our Future Star series. As you can see from the title of the video, we are going to be looking at 17-year-old Evan Ferguson. But before we jump into it, guys, if you can, drop a like on the video down below and subscribe, it will be much appreciated. Evan Ferguson started out his career with St. Kevin's boys and naturally moved on to Bohemians due to the link between the clubs. He moved on to Bohemians to take part in the national underage leagues. Ferguson made his debut in senior football in a 1-1 draw against Chelsea at Dandenong Park for Bohemians, a famous enough game. I think it was Frank Lampard's first game in charge for Chelsea, funny enough. But Evan Ferguson also made the headlines that day, becoming Bohemians' youngest ever player, and I believe he went on to become the League of Ireland's youngest ever player to play in a competitive game. He came off the bench for Bohemians at 14 years of age to play against Derry City. He ended up playing 4 times competitively for Bohemians. Playing at such a young age, it drew major headlines across the country. You guys probably remember this. A lot of people, it got a lot of mixed reaction online, people praising Bohemians for giving young players a chance, while others criticised Bohemians, saying that 14 years of age is far too young for a kid, a child basically, to be playing in the men's game. Former Ireland international Stephen Elliott came out publicly on Off the Ball and actually criticised Bohemians for it. He said that the men's game was no place for a 14-year-old. He also said, shouldn't Bohemians be protecting a player who must have serious talent if he's breaking into the first team at 14? Also, why are both so hard up for first team players that have to name a 14-year-old in their squad in the first place? So yeah, that was kind of a shared reaction amongst a lot of people on Twitter, etc. at the time. And at the time, I saw where he was coming from. Like, 14 years of age it's really, really young for a player to be coming into, even being in the dressing room around that kind of environment. It's so young. 14 is insane. But if you just look at Evan Ferguson at that age still, though, like the size of him, he looked more of a man than I do at 23 years of age. Like, he looked a real unit. So maybe it's a one-off special case, but I think I do agree that 14 is far too young to be playing a professional game, I believe anyway. But it of course on the other hand shows what a special talent this kid must be to be breaking into the team at that level in the Premier Division of the League of Ireland. And of course this did not go unnoticed. Brighton and Hove Albion of the Premier League picked up Evan Ferguson in January of 2021, beating off competition from the likes of Liverpool. In August of 2021 he did make his senior debut for Brighton and Hove Albion, coming on in the Carabao Cup in the 81st minute, I think it was, against Cardiff City. Huge achievement and a huge moment for the young man. His first involvement in a Premier League matchday squad came last year as well. In December he was an unused substitute against Wolverhampton Wanderers, but he did come off the bench in Brighton and Hove Albion's game only recently in the FA Cup, and he did get an assist away at West Brom. An assist already just off the bench. I think it was 1-0 when he came off the bench, and the game finished 2-1 in extra time. Made a huge impact when he came on. Evan Ferguson has represented his country at under 15 level, under 17 level, and now already under 21, making his under 21 debut in a 2-0 win over Bosnia and Herzegovina last August. In terms of Evan Ferguson's style of play, he is a tall, imposing centre forward. You can tell by his physique and his kind of large frame that he's going to be an absolute handful for defenders. And at only 17 years of age, that frame, that kind of, he can still be growing. He's so young still, he can still be growing into his body. So yeah, it's crazy already that how much of a man he really looks like, and the fact he kind of has to be playing at the level he's playing at. Despite being kind of a tall kind of centre forward, he is still very, very mobile. He's quick, he can get around the pitch, and he really does look like the complete striker, to be honest with you. Any team that he plays for, he's going to be able to offer them so much in the final third. His manager at Brighton, Graham Potter, described Evan as a young guy with a bright future. He's got really good movement, and you can see his quality with his goals. They're not by accident. He knows where to be in the box and around the defenders. Huge praise from one of the most promising managers in the league, a really, really good manager. Kenny Cunningham also came out and said physically he can handle it. He's a man and has broken into the under 21 squad. There's clear ability there, and there's very exciting times ahead, not only for him in a Brighton jersey but in an Ireland jersey as well. And former Crystal Palace defender Damien Delaney said he's very talented. To get into the Bows team at the age he did was a great achievement for him, and at Brighton he's clearly doing the right things. You don't get out of the under 23s and into the first team unless you're showing it on a regular basis in training. He just needs to continue that upward trajectory, and hopefully he can get some more minutes. Evan himself has come out and said that he's learning so much day in, day out, working with the likes of Danny Welbeck, and obviously Danny Welbeck has so much pedigree coming through at Man United. He's learned from the best there, and all the stuff he's passing on to Evan can only be a good thing. And kind of similar-ish players in terms of maybe the frame that they have and how they kind of approach the game in a way. Obviously, Danny Welbeck being kind of a tall, kind of a complete forward in a way. He can hold up the ball, he can run in behind, he can do a bit of everything really. And Evan Ferguson could be a similar type player to that. How much potential does Evan have? It's clear to see that the sky is the limit for him, to be honest. But it is important to manage expectations and not be expecting miracles from a teenager. This was echoed by Graham Potter again, and he said that the more he's with us, the better he'll get, I think. The guys in the academy have done a fantastic job with him, and now he's in that next stage, and we have to take it with the right pace for him. When he's in the first team, it's a good experience for him, and that's the main thing, is going at that right pace. We might have seen in the past, maybe, especially from an Ireland point of view, because Ireland are begging for a goal scorer. It's a huge thing that we've lacked the last few years. Since Robbie Keane, really, we haven't had any great goal scorers, and we're begging out for one. And maybe we saw that potential with a Troy Parrott, and maybe he was pushed in a little bit too early, and maybe expectations were too high too soon type thing. He's only 19 still, so maybe that's the kind of thing we need to try and avoid with our young players, is throwing all their expectations on them. I know it's hard not to get excited by such an amazing talent, but it's important to try and take at the right pace for him and not rush him into the Ireland senior setup and things like that, because there's no doubt about it, he will be in an Ireland jersey before long. No two ways about it. He is so promising. What do you guys think? Have you seen much of Evan Ferguson? He seems like he has a good head on his shoulders, and he seems like he has all the minerals to get right to the top, to be a Premier League striker and an Ireland striker for years to come. So yeah, really excited by Evan Ferguson. He has been the feature of this episode of our Future Star series. What player do you want to see next in this series? Let us know down in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, please do drop a like on it. If you haven't already, please do subscribe for more content like this. Plenty of content coming out before the new season starts in the LOI, guys, so make sure to stay tuned. I hope you're all keeping well. Catch you in a bit.